Hi guys, welcome to another live performance session with myself and Kaitlyn. Here today we're taking you through a 30-minute session. We're going to start again by just working through initially some mobility based exercises combined with some exercises to really just get your system working, get the muscles kicking in and activating the different muscle groups. We're then going to take you through just 3 different exercises, repeat them 3 times through, and then we'll repeat that cycle again for 3 more exercises as well. So we're just going to get you going and start with the warm-up exercises. So we're going to start off, guys. Feel free to lie down on your back. We're going to be in a crook lying position, and we're initially going to start with our pelvic tilts first of all. So really this is an opportunity to start to warm up the low back. Working each individual lumbar vertebrae as well, particularly if you've been sitting down for long periods through the day and the low back might be quite stiff. This is really a good way to just almost start to get your system moving as well. And really think about trying to just move the low back. As I said, quite often we hold it in one particular position, and it's important that we really just start to get that moving a bit more. So from there, we're now going to go into our single leg glute bridges. So again, from this position, it's to really just fire up and activate the hip muscles, particularly the glutes. Okay, these muscles are fantastic for running, for cycling, for all different sports, and they're also going to be part of, or the main part of the exercise routine that we do today. So really when you're doing this, just make sure that you're bringing the hip up as Kaitlyn's doing there, or bringing the knee up towards the chest, and you're driving up with the other glute as well. And that's just going to lock the hips in, isolate the glute muscles, and take some of the stress off of the pelvis as well. And we're just simply going to work through just doing about 8 repetitions each side as a warm up there. So Kaitlyn, from that position, she's now going to come onto her into a plank position. She's going to hold that position first of all, and we're simply in this position, we're just going to start to warm the upper body up now as well, and we're simply going to do that by just going through just some scap push-ups, so just coming up and coming back down from that position there. And again, we're just going to work through 8 repetitions. Again, when you're doing this, you should just make sure that the low back is completely flat, that you could balance a glass of water on your low back, you're not dropping at all, and the movement, you're making the chest proud. So you're trying to push the scapula up against the chest wall. So we're now, once we've done our 8 repetitions, we're now going to go from there into a pigeon stretch as well. So Kaitlyn's going to be back in that plank, bring the leg forwards, good, and then she's just going to come down and just hold that position. She's going to hold it for 5 seconds, and then she's going to just bring herself back, and we're going to repeat it 3 times through with both legs as well. And again, this is a great exercise to first of all open out the front hip, so working on the glutes, but then also as well just working on the hip flexors on the standing leg as well. And again, see Kaitlyn's doing there, she's able to fully extend the back leg as well, and she gets a really nice stretch through the hip flexors on that leg. And then if you can, then try to bring your chest down as close to the as close to the floor as you possibly can there as well when you're doing it. And we'll just do 1 more on each side. How are you feeling today, Kaitlyn?
Not bad.
Okay, so we're going to go from that position, guys, into now back into that plank position, and then we're going to bring 1 leg forward. So Kaitlyn's, there we go, perfect. And again, we're now just going to open out the trunk as well. Yep, so we're keeping the back leg pipe straight, okay, locking that knee out there as well. We're working on the control around the hips and around the pelvis, okay, but now we're also bringing in the thoracic spine as well, and just really opening up through the thoracic spine, working on that trunk rotation. Okay, and we're just going to do 5 reps each side. Hold it for a couple of seconds at the top when you're doing this at home as well, and just feel quite a stretch through the mid back. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So again, like we said, just the legs in that position, you're activating the hips anyway, you're activating the muscles around the hips, you're keeping the low back locked in, and you're really just working through the thoracic spine with that rotation there as well. Great stuff. Okay, so we're going to go back into the plank position now, and then we're going to just work on just doing a downward dog. So from that position, pushing through. How's the shoulders feeling there, Kaitlyn?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and then just pumping out through the calves as well. Okay, so try and keep the back as extended as possible. We're going to just do 5 repetitions. So coming down, back into the downward dog, pushing through. So now we're really exploring the whole shoulder range of motion, but also working on the stability of the shoulders through that entire range of motion as well, whilst also activating our calf muscles as we're doing it. So lower body mobility, but much more upper body stability when we're doing the program. And we're just at home, guys, just do a couple more repetitions. As I said, the low back, the trunk should be relatively still. You shouldn't get much movement through there. Kaitlyn's sort of wobbling a little bit when she's doing it. Needs to work on her core a bit, but that's what we're here for today for. And then we'll come back through. Great stuff. Okay, so now from there we're going to go up into a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So Kaitlyn's going to bring one leg forwards. Yep, so there you go, good. Okay, she's going to come into a hip flexor stretch there, so opening out the psoas muscle on that side. She's going to bring that arm across the body, and then she's going to open up the channel as well. So again, she should have her back leg firmly placed down, the toes firmly down on the mat there. Okay, really well engaged. She should be focused on what she's doing, and then also rotating around to the side there as well. Good, and again we're going to go 3, and then we'll just change sides as well as we're doing that. Okay, so again, hip stability, but also trunk mobility as well when we're doing this. Yep, and again, 3 reps each side when you're doing this at home as well. If you want to spend a little bit longer, by all means do so. But as I said, just focus now, just making sure that you've got good sort of activation, the body's warmed up, but also you've got good mobility as well there. Great stuff. Okay, so we're now going to come from that position up into a standing position. We're going to go into a knee hug, so we're going to just be in this position, 3 repetitions, just dropping down into a squat, bringing ourselves across, and then drawing that knee up as well. Okay, 3-second hold, repeat it 3 times. So again, focusing now on stability of so for Kaitlyn, stability of her left leg as she's doing it. She should be focusing on the alignment of the knee, the hip and the toes, but then also just starting to just feel a stretch through the glutes on the standing leg as well there. And then from there we're going to do the same thing on the other side, so changing sides, coming across, 3-second hold at the top of that range as well there. That's fantastic. Okay, and repeating that through. So really, really nice there, and you're really focusing on trying to keep that standing leg fully extended at the knee. Kaitlyn's working very, very hard there. She's got good stability down the leg. She's able to fully extend the knee there as well. Great stuff, okay? So next one of Kaitlyn's favourites, okay? So we're going to have the arms by side. We're going to take it into an RDL, so just working on the hamstrings. We're coming down into a squat, and then we're going to bring in both arms up as well as we're doing it, okay? And again, we'll work through 5 repetitions. So RDL there, working the hamstrings down into the squat for the quads, and then up again, okay? So again, mobility for the hamstrings, getting those muscles groups working, glutes, and then just driving through as well, working on thoracic extension. 2 more repetitions. Yep. Great job, Kaitlyn, good. And then coming up, there we go. Last one, okay? So last one at home as well. Yep, RDL into that squat position, and then driving up into that position as well. And now we're going into Kaitlyn's favourite. So we're going to start with the arms directly up in front of us. We're going to then draw the arms down, and then we're going to just work through, just moving those quick feet as well, just to really get the muscles working, increase our heart rate as well. And then we're going to go back to the start. So Kaitlyn's going to work a little bit harder on this one, so down, and then into that quick jogging. Okay, the idea is that we're raising the heart rate. It's not a leisurely jog at home. Okay, couple more reps, just pumping those legs. Good, and last one. Okay, last one, coming down, through it goes, and then just pumping there. Okay, so you can see that Kaitlyn's already short of breath. She's only done a few of them, but so she should be working on a bit more of her cardiovascular fitness at home. Okay, all right, guys. So next thing we're going to go into now is our 3 cycles through. Okay, of 3 different exercises. So we're going to do first of all, to challenge the upper body, we're going to be doing a plank, and we're going to be doing some walkouts as well. Okay, so I'll show you the first round is going to be just knees this time, okay, And what we're going to be doing is from this position is we're going to be walking the hands out and then walking the hands back in, trying to keep the elbows as straight as we can, okay? And we're just going to work through 6 repetitions of doing that there. Yep. Next one we're going to go through is into a dead bug position. So the way that we're going to do that is essentially just having the ball, stage 1 is here, okay? And then we're just going to work on just extending through and coming through, and we're just going to be doing 10 repetitions as we do this movement here as well, okay? And the final exercise is going to be working on a squat. So we use the ball first of all, okay? And then we're just going to be from this position here, just squatting down and coming back up, okay? So I'll let Kaitlyn go through the motions with it. We may just progress to having some using some weights as well as we're doing it. So Kaitlyn's going to take us through. So round 1, okay, it's just walking forwards, coming back in. Good, and then just walking out as well there. So at home, guys, if you've got more upper body strength, then feel free to just take yourself out that little bit further as well. So feel free to take yourself out as far as you can when you're doing this movement. Okay, key thing is as well, you just keep the low back just engaged and really switched on when we're doing it, and we're not arching through the low back as well there, and coming back in. And again, how many is that, Kaitlyn?
4.
4, okay, so last one coming through. Good job. Yeah. Great stuff. Okay, so we're now going to go into exercise number 2, which is our dead bug. Okay, so again, now this one's fantastic. It's really engaging the core muscles. The key thing is when we're doing this that we keep the low back flat on the mat there. Okay, we try not to arch the low back. Okay, if you're finding that you're doing that, then you just need to make sure that you don't take the legs out as far and then bringing them back in, and we're just alternating between sides. And we're actually going to go with 12 repetitions on this as well, okay? So notice Kaitlyn's doing really well. She's just brushing the toe, or the heel down rather, as she puts her foot down there. Okay, she's keeping the toes pointing towards the sky. She's not rocking at all. She's not rotating as she's doing the movement, but she's also keeping her back really quite flat on the floor there as well. Good. Okay, and now we're going to go into our squat. So with the squat, we're going to do the same thing, keeping the ball close to the body. Okay, we're going to hold it for a count of 2 at the bottom, and then we're going to drive back up. Good, and back up. Yeah, so Kaitlyn's doing really well there. So she's just slowing down as she goes down. So she's lengthening her muscles, she's lengthening her tendons while she's loading them up, but then she's being very, very explosive as she moves out of there as well. Okay, so she's working on both strength but also speed or power as she's doing the movement. Okay, she's got a good squatting technique. She's keeping her heels on the ground. She's keeping her low back flat as she's doing the movement. She's extending through her trunk as well, and then she's driving up. So fantastic technique there. And coming through. How's that going, Kaitlyn?
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Good job. So we'll do 3 more reps. Good. Yep, so again guys, feel free if you've got a hand weight, we're going to progress to a kettlebell in a minute. Okay, so round number 2 is feel free if you want to take on some water, and then we'll go through the second round. So now we're just going to challenge you that little bit more. So from here now, we're going to be just in our plank position, okay, but now from here, we're keeping, instead of having the knees down, the knees are up, and we're just doing the same thing, walking out, and then walking back in as well, just so the hands are directly, or the shoulders are directly over the hands there as well as we do that. Okay, we're going to go into with our dead bug. We're going to be now working on opposites, so we're going to use that ball, okay, opposite arm, opposite, perfect, and then coming through. Hopefully we can see. Good job, okay, so keep the low back straight. I'm hoping, guys, that you can see at home when we're doing this in this position that you can see Kaitlyn here, okay, but we're simply coming forwards, coming back, okay, doing 1 more set through there as well. All right, and now we'll take that into our single leg our dead bug. Okay, so in terms of opposites, so again, same thing. So just here, that's great. So opposite arm, opposite leg there. So other side there, Kaitlyn, that's it. Okay, and then just extending through there as well. Okay, so again, now we're just making that dead bug a little bit more challenging as we're doing it there. So coming through, coming back out. Okay, again, we're just working just the anterior sling a lot more, working through the hip flexors, and also just working through the arms as well. So just really activating the entire anterior sling as we're doing the movement pattern there as well. Okay, and again, we're going to go from there, just working through 8 to 10 repetitions one side, and then doing the same thing just the other side there as well. And we're change sides. Okay, so coming through, just extending down, good job, and coming back in. Again, guys, at home, if you've got any issues with shoulders, then essentially just make sure that you limit your range slightly. I know Kaitlyn's had a bit of an accident on her bike at the weekend, so just really just limiting that range of motion there as well. Again, keeping the low back just flat on the bed or the floor as you're doing this movement. Don't allow the pelvis to rock forwards at all. Again, if that's happening, then just limit the available range of motion where you're doing the movement pattern as well. Okay, and now we're going to go into our squat movement. Okay, so same thing, but now this time we're going to go into a squat, into a press as well. So using the ball, using a hand weight at home, and then just pushing up. Okay, and then just coming through and pushing up. And again, we're just going to work on sort of 8 to 10 repetitions when you're doing this. All right, just again, Kaitlyn's doing really well. She's just focusing on, she's got good range of motion. She's got through the hips. She's keeping her back fully extended as she's doing the movement pattern as well. Okay, she's keeping her heels on the ground, and she's able to bring her knees over her toes. So very good mobility through the lower body. Again, at home, if you're doing this movement pattern, then feel free to use a hand weight as well. We're going to grab one, but due to the technical issues, we've decided just to stick with the ball when we're doing the movement pattern as well. We may change it in a minute. Good job. Okay, so now from there we're going to go into round 3, which again, see how you feel with this. Okay, the variation is that we're essentially having ourselves in this position, having one leg up and walking forwards. Okay, coming back, coming forwards there as well. Again, five repetitions when we're doing that. Second thing we're going to be doing is just now working on just being in this position, same side, same leg, coming back, coming forwards, okay, as we just extend through the movement. And then from here, we're now going to be working on our squat jump as well. So coming down, 3-second hold, jumping up, okay. So we'll go through the 3 exercises, working through there. Okay, so same thing. So Kaitlyn's going to go into the plank, and she's going to be continuing to just walk the arms forwards and then walking them back, coming through as well. Good job. And coming back. Good, and we'll just keep working through there. At home, again, key things are just keep the trunk engaged. Really focus on just not shifting the hips at all, and not dropping through the low back, and really keeping the scapular shoulder blades, they should be flush against the chest wall as we're doing the movement pattern there as well. Okay. Well done. Okay, so now same side as we do the movement. So same muscle groups really that we're activating here. We're just starting to change it a little bit, so it should be a little bit harder. We should feel a slight more rotational component as we're doing the movement, okay, and we're just simply working on just 10 reps either side as we're doing this as well, okay. So again, this is much more focused on trunk stability. First exercise is primarily focused on upper body strength and stability. This one is focused on the core, the trunk muscles, and then the last exercise, the squats, are much more lower body, okay? So just within this whole routine, we're just really attacking different muscle groups as we're doing it. Again, Kaitlyn's doing really, really well there as she's doing it. She's got good strength. She's still a little bit limited with that left arm there, okay, but she's just doing really, really nicely as well. She's keeping her low back flat on the bed as she's doing the movement pattern. The leg is completely straight and locked out, toes are pointing up, okay, and just really good trunk and core muscle engagement there as well. Good job, Kaitlyn, brilliant stuff. Okay, so we're now going to go into our squat jumps now. So we're going to be using the ball. Again, you can use something at home if you want to use a weight there. And we're going to just work through, coming down, yep, good, coming through. Okay, so a couple of second holds at the bottom of range there, just trying to jump as high as we can as we're doing the movement. Again, still think about that lower body alignment, okay. As we're doing it, we should feel a bit more through our quads, through our glutes as we're coming up and down. Okay, so again, you should just start to feel more of a muscle fatigue. We're focusing more on power, but keep the control of the movement. Great job, Kaitlyn, brilliant stuff, okay? So from now, guys, we're going to be using a couple of hand weights, okay? And we're going to go into our rowing motion. Yep, so our first exercise is going to be focused on what we call a Renegade Row. So just going to bring this back a little bit. Okay, we're going to go again just into that plank position first of all, onto the knees the first round, and then just working through coming up. Okay, so this is much more focused on activating the shoulder blade muscles, working the lats, all of that big postural muscles. We're then going to take that into a skater squat, so we're going to be back up onto our feet, again working on our control, coming down. We may use the ball actually as a bit of a reference point as well, so just coming down and coming back up. Okay, so slight single leg squat variation. If you want to touch that back toe down for a little bit of stability, by all means do so. And then the last exercise that we're going to be working on is now doing what we call bear crawls as well. Okay, so we're going to be in this position, okay, keeping ourselves here, and then just opposite arm, opposite leg coming through. So you're going to feel this in the upper body, and then we're going to go back. So probably about 3 to 4 movements forwards, and then the same thing coming back as well. Okay, all right, so let's go. First round through, working on the Renegade Rows as we do that. Slightly out of breath even from doing that demonstration there. Okay, so there you go. So Kaitlyn's doing really well. She's on the knees. She's keeping her low back flat as she's doing the movement, and then she's producing the rowing movement as well. Now at home, if your wrists are not feeling too great, then by all means you can take your hand off of the weight as you're doing the movement pattern as well there, if that makes sense. So essentially you can have the hand down, draw the weight up, and then place the hand back down on the floor as well, and that should give the wrist a little bit of a respite. Oh, how many reps have you done there?
12 altogether.
Perfect. All right, so now let's go through exercise number 2, which is going to be our skater squat. Do you want to use the ball as a reference point there, Kaylee?
Yeah.
Yep, so just there, so coming down, good, and coming back up. Yep, and we'll come through, and we're even just coming to a little bit of hip flexion as well, and then from there coming back down. Okay, so again, now the trick is when we're doing the skater squat is actually what we usually don't want is collapsing down through the hips, but within this movement pattern we do drop through the hips slightly on that standing leg as well, but that's absolutely fine because we're working now on the control through that movement. Yeah, so particularly with sports where there's change of direction, where there's jumping, landing, we need to be able to control positions that might be a little bit more uncomfortable for the knee, but also put the joint in more of a provocative position as well. So that's what this exercise does. It just challenges the system in a position that may not be best suited for it. And we're going to do the same thing again, just on the other side. Great job, Kaitlyn, brilliant stuff. Okay, so coming into that hip flexion position at the end of the movement pattern as well, we'll just improve the overall just control and stability through the leg. We're right there, Kaitlyn?
Is that okay?
Yep, that's good. Yep, good, and coming back up. Okay, so last repetition, and then we'll go on to our bear crawls. Great stuff. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the bear crawls. So we should feel like this is probably a bit of a burner for the quads now, just where we've been doing it. So you're going to go from the 4-point kneeling position as Kaitlyn's doing there. Yep, perfect. Coming through and just working through a very small space, and then from there you're going to be just reversing that as well as Kaitlyn's doing there. Okay, and all we're going to be doing is just a few cycles through. So Kaitlyn's going to be going forwards again there. Good, keeping the back engaged, keeping the back straight, feeling the burn on the quadricep muscles as well, and then just working coming through. How are we doing there, Kaitlyn?
Yeah, not bad.
Yep, so we'll go with one more cycle backwards as well. And just going backwards just challenges your system that little bit harder. and coming through. Great stuff. Okay, brilliant guys. So feel free to take on some water. Okay, we're going to now start to go through round 2. I'll give you a quick demonstration of that. So now we're going to go into a full Renegade Row. Okay, so just into that plank position now. Okay, coming up, keeping the core muscles engaged. As I said, if you want to just go onto the wrists, that's absolutely fine, as we do the movement pattern there as well. So next exercise that we're going through there is then the skater squat. Again, 2 variations. You could add weight. We're just going to go with a bit more of an ISO hold. So same thing, 8 repetitions coming up, coming down, and then coming back up, just holding it for that little bit longer. And for the bear crawl variation that we're going to do now, guys, just to give you a bit more ideas of variety, is we're going to then be working on just our sideways bear crawl. Okay, so just working across and then coming through. And then going the same way the other side as well there. Okay, all right, so let's go round 2 into the Renegade Rows. So there, good. And then just working on just coming up and coming back down. Good. Perfect, and we're going to go through around 12 reps in total, so 6 repetitions each side. Again, key thing when we're doing this, like Kaitlyn's doing there, is not shifting the hips too much as she's doing the movement pattern, keeping the core muscles engaged, okay, keeping the legs completely extended as she's doing it as well there, and really just working through. Great job, well done. Okay, so now from there we're going to go into our skater squat as well. Okay, so just there, and again we're going to go with 8 repetitions coming back. Yep, so Kaitlyn's got much better control than me there as she's doing it, and she's just simply working through. Really good technique there, coming up, okay, controlling the knee as she moves up and down there as well. Good, so yep, so we'll go with 8 reps, so we'll change sides now, do the same on the other side there, yeah? So again, just coming round, that's great, so just dropping down, touching down, keeping that control as you're doing the movement pattern, just using the ball or something as a slight reference point as we're doing it there. If you need to bring that ball forward or that weight at home forwards to really counteract your balance, then by all means do so, okay? And again, just keep the alignment there of the legs as you're going sort of forwards and backwards, dropping that back hip as you're coming forwards there as well, okay? Great job, well done. Okay, so now from there we're going to go into the bear crawls, okay? So simply to one side, and you're going to be a little bit more coordination, okay? So Kaitlyn's just going to work through the mat as she's doing the movement pattern. So she's up into that bear crawl position, and then she's just coming across and coming through. Yep, great stuff. How's that going, Kaitlyn? Looks good? Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, so Kaitlyn's doing exceptionally hard. She's basically moving the arms and the legs out at the same time. So this just is challenging her system that bit more now. She's dropped it back a little bit to make it a little bit easier there, where she's now putting the arm then the leg out as well to stabilise. Again, if you want to do the harder way, by all means do so as well. How are we feeling? Yep, yeah, let's go again. Okay, and then we're just going to work through just again the full mat one more time. Okay, so Kaitlyn's doing really well there. She should be feeling it through the quads on both sides as she's doing. It's focused again really on upper body strength, so try your best to keep the shoulder blades flush against the chest wall as you're doing the movement. Keeping, as Kaitlyn's doing there, she's keeping her back really quite flat and engaged as she's doing it there. And great stuff. Okay, fantastic. Okay, guys. So again, feel free to take on some water. Well done, Kaitlyn. Brilliant stuff. Okay. So next one is what we're going to do is just onto the Renegade Rows first of all. So again, we're not going to change it too much. We're just going to keep it as it is, working through 12 repetitions in total, coming up and coming back down. Okay. Exercise number 2 is going to be the skater squat, but now we've got our kettlebell, so we're making it that bit harder. So again, we're just going to be now pushing the kettlebell out as we come down and through as well, okay, coming up into that hip flexion position. And then the last one, I'm going to give Kaitlyn the option to choose what what bear crawl she'd like to go with as well. But we'll wait until we're there first of all. Okay, so back into the Renegade Rows, 12 repetitions in total. Okay, again, keeping the back really switched on, really engaged, legs fully extended as we're doing it, and then performing the rowing motion as well there. Good, so again, much more focused on upper body strength. Like we said, also targeting the lats, the muscles around the back of the shoulder. It's great for if you've got issues with your shoulder, particularly strengthening the muscles around the scapula is fantastic and should be part of your rehab program as well. They're well done, Kaitlyn, fantastic. Okay, so now into the skater squat. We're going to be doing 8 repetitions each side. Last round through as well, guys, so just keep working, keep focusing on the control, the quality of the movement as we're doing it there as well. Kaitlyn's doing really well there. Okay, that weight obviously makes it harder, but it also helps with just counterbalancing the body as well as we're going simply up and down as we're doing it there. Good, and we'll keep working through there as well. Okay, so just adding some variety to how we do a single leg squat. You know, we can do a standard one, we can bring the leg forwards, or we can obviously come into that skater position as well. Sometimes what's actually quite good to encourage a bit more knee flexion through that front leg is actually putting a pad behind you and touching that pad down as well. Will just get you working a bit harder, taking you to some of those deeper ranges of motion as well. As I said, if you're having issues with hips, this is great exercise if you're able to tolerate it and should be part of your rehab program. Okay, and the last one I'm going to lead to Kaitlyn there, so she's going to go through whatever variety she wants. So she's going to go with the side one. Fantastic. Okay, and then we're going to work through. Okay, so last exercise to just really challenge the whole system there. Okay, should be feeling quite normal to feel quite tired now at home as well, guys. You've had a decent half hour, even with the unexpected interruption, but you've had a fantastic session there as well. And again, just six very different exercises that works all different muscle groups as well. Okay, so last cycle through, we're doing 4 lengths of the mat here when we're doing it. Okay, and then we're coming back through. Great job, Kaitlyn, brilliant stuff. All right, fantastic, well done, brilliant stuff, guys. So again, feel free to take on some water if need be, and we're just going to finish off now with just our mobility exercises. We're going to start off with a child's pose first of all. As I said, just to really for Kaitlyn, just to stretch out. We've been using the lats a lot, we've been using the upper body, and we just now need to just stretch those muscle groups out. Stretch the shoulders, stretch the thoracic spine as well, and just sit quite deeply into that child's pose stretch. And if you want to, then you can just start as you breathe out to start to just walk the arms forwards that bit more. Okay, so not too sure where Kaitlyn's hands are going, but forwards there. Okay, and again, we've worked hard. You should be very, very warm now. The muscles are very warm, and this is the great opportunity to really sort of stretch those muscles out, improve the muscle length, but also improve general mobility through the joints as well. So now we're going to go from this position to taking Kaitlyn into a 90-90 hamstring stretch. So now the lower body, just to loosen the hamstrings out as well. So just on your back there, Kaitlyn. Good. One leg up, good. And we're just going to stretch through. We're going to do 3 repetitions. Again, same thing as well there. Again, just breathing out as well as you're doing the movement pattern. Just exhale, coming through. Take your time, slow it down. Good. Fantastic. Okay, and we're now going to do the same thing on the other side. Good. Working through. How are you feeling there, Kaitlyn?
Tired.
Yeah. Good. Perfect. Okay, and the last one now we're going to go through is working into our pigeon stretch. So it's how we finished off really, how we started rather. We're going to just bring ourselves forward, so into your pigeon stretch first of all, Kaitlyn, on your stomach, one leg up around into that position. There we go, extend your leg as well. There, perfect, all right, so yeah, great job. So obviously, and I imagine this is the same for you guys at home, when you've had a hard workout, you're probably not remembering the names of the different exercises. but certainly this is your pigeon stretch as well. So again, focus on your breathing, exhale. You want to really lengthen the back leg, lengthen through the front hip. Okay, and now we'll just do the same thing and we'll change sides as well. There we go. And coming through. Good job, guys. Fantastic. And time. Well done. Well done. All right. So, yeah, great session again. Sorry for the disruption halfway through. Just had some technical issues there, but we went through just a good sort of session focused on initially activating the right muscle groups before going into 6 different exercises as well. Again, you can find out a bit more about what we offer on Square One Connect, and that's through our Square One website, which is www.squareonephysio.com.au. Again, we're going to continue. We're not going to have a live performance session next week, but we'll pick up when we'll do 2 following live performance sessions through June. So we look forward to seeing you then.